Hi there, and let's start with third session of chapter 9, The Great Stone Face 1, written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. In the last two parts, we read part 1 and part 2 of this chapter 9, and today we are going to see its summary and discuss the comprehension check, question answers, and the textbook exercises today. So let's start with this session and carry on with the rest of the work. Let me now read out the summary of this chapter for you. The story, The Great Stone Face, is written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This story is about nature, divinity, and a prophecy. It begins with a mother and her young son, Ernest, who live in a prosperous valley. What sets this place apart is a local mountainside with rocks that strongly resemble a wise and benevolent face. The mother tells her fascinated son of the local legend that a man whose appearance matches the Great Stone Face will return to the valley. That man is destined to be the greatest and noblest personage of his time. Young Ernest is drawn to the tale and hopes fervently that such a man will appear in his lifetime. Let's start with comprehension check on page number 129. Write true or false against each of the following statements. First, the great stone face stood near where Ernest and his mother lived. False. Second, one would clearly distinguish the features of the stone face only from a distance. True. Ernest loved his mother and helped her in her work. True. Though not very rich, Gathergold was a skillful merchant. False. Gathergold died in poverty and neglect. True. The great stone face seemed to suggest that Ernest should not fear the general. False. These are the questions under working with the text section of your textbook. Let's try to answer each question one by one. Question number 1, part A. What was the great stone face? The great stone face was the work of nature. The rocks were put one over the other on the mountainside and they resembled the features of a human face. Part B. What did young Ernest wish when he gazed at it? Young Ernest wished that the stone face could speak. He wished to love the man dearly, whoever resembled that face. Question number 2. What was the story attributed to the stone face? The story attributed to the stone face was that someday a child with the likeness of that face would be born. He would become the greatest and noblest person. Question number 3. What gave the people of the valley the idea that the prophecy was about to come true for the first time? A young man named Gathergold had left the valley many years ago. By the time he grew old, he had grown rich. When he returned to his native valley, a rumor spread that he resembled the stone face and people thought that the prophecy had come true. Question number 4, part A. Did Ernest see in Gathergold the likeness of the stone face? No, Ernest did not see likeness of the stone face in Gathergold. Part B. Who did he confide in and how was he proved right? He confided in the great stone face after Gathergold's death, as his wealth had already disappeared before his death. It was generally agreed that there was no likeness between the ruined merchant and the great stone face. Question number 5, part A. What made people believe General Blood and Thunder was their man? General Blood and Thunder had risen to high position from a soldier. When he returned to the valley, his childhood friends said that the general had always looked like the stone face. Part B. Ernest compared the man's face with the stone face. What did he conclude? When Ernest compared the man's face with the stone face, he could not find any likeness between the general and the stone face. Let's now move on to working with language on page number 130. Question number 1. Look at the following words. Like becomes likeness. Punctual becomes punctuality. The words on the left are adjectives and those on the right are their noun forms. Write the noun forms of the following words by adding NESS or ITY to them appropriately. Check the spelling of the new words. Let's start. Lofty becomes loftiness. Able becomes ability. Happy becomes happiness. Near becomes nearness. Noble becomes nobility. Enormous becomes enormity. Pleasant becomes pleasantness. Dense becomes density. Great becomes greatness. And stable becomes stability. Question number 2. Add ly to each of the following adjectives. Then use them to fill in the blanks. So we have been given around 5 adjectives in this yellow box. We have to change it, that is add ly to these and use them appropriately in the blanks given below. Let's start. Why didn't you turn up at the meeting? We all were eagerly waiting for you. Kindly write your name and address in capital letters. I was pleasantly surprised to see him at the railway station. I thought he was not coming. It is perfectly believable that I am not responsible for this mess. He fell over the step and nearly broke his arm. Progressing to the last question under this section, question number 3. Complete each sentence below using the appropriate forms of the verbs in brackets. I will phone you when I get home from school. Hurry up, ma'am will be annoyed if we are late. If it rains today, we will not go to the play. When you see Mandal again, you will not recognize him. He is growing a beard. We are off today. We will write to you after we are back. Thank you very much for watching my videos and I'll see you in the next video with chapter 10, that is the Great Stone Face part 2. Till then, take good care of yourself, be happy, be joyous and be kind.